Can you say a few words about the kinds of big decisions to make in creating an LCA strategy, and then some things about the decisions that are supported by the results of that LCA strategy?
Well, I have to say there's no size-fits-all kind of approach. Companies, organizations, institutions, academic institutions, they all have their culture and how they make decisions. So the strategy on life cycle assessment as a tool is to understand the culture, understand how decisions are currently being made, and empowering those that are making decisions by integrating life cycle assessment into that decision-making process.
Is that true of the culture of an industry as well as the culture of an organization?
I think that industries are certainly more diverse in terms of participants, so it becomes a greater challenge in applying life cycle assessment universally. So certainly there needs to be more, if you will, effort to standardize an approach in doing so. So I guess in the yin and yang of one size fits all, you've got to figure out what are the decision points in that industry, who are the players that are influential, and how can they then champion various aspects of life cycle assessment as examples for others.
Right, right. And especially in buildings, given that when looking at the life cycle of a building, the players change hands so many times over the life of a building, from the materials extraction and production to the building, to the owning, to the operating, and onward. And often those are very different audiences with different sets of thoughts about what's important. And so do you anticipate that LCA may evolve in the building industry in a way that will connect some of the dots between those different roles within building?
It absolutely has to. If it's going to survive as a method that will be applied, it needs to speak to different audiences in different ways, because at the end of the day, it's facilitating and empowering those to make decisions. If it doesn't serve that purpose, it won't be used. So connecting the dots is critical. Speaking within the vernacular of those that are making the decisions is important as well.
Right. I have one final question for you, Tom, and that is, what is the expression of need that you most hear when a business leader comes to you and says, we need help, and that help is in the form of LCA? What is the expression of need that you hear?
It ranges in many ways, but I think the most definitive one is a level of assurance that they are making a more sustainable decision. You know, this decision support and that assurance that they've considered all of the important issues that they need to consider, and that they are then using LCA to facilitate a conversation and then action on that. So that's their need. You know, it's about making better products. It's about informing others of those successes.